So hi YouTube world. That sounded better in my head than actually saying it out loud. But I saw the astrology tag. I'm really into astrology. I think it's really freaking cool. And so I wanted to go ahead and film a video telling people about my signs and what they mean to me. And so I hope y'all like my video. I'll try and be as clear as I can. Sometimes my thoughts sound so much better than when I speak them out into the world for the world to hear, and it just sounds so dumb. I guess I'll start off with my rising sign, and my rising sign is in Libra, and your rising sign is basically the energy that you give off, how other people perceive you. And when you have a Libra rising, you perceive yourself through other people. So in any new situation, I'm more like thinking, does this person like me? Like, how am I presenting myself? Like, what do people think about me? That kind of thing. I think Libra risings are really people pleasers. They have this rep for being like a good, like having your rising sign as Libra is good, but really it's just because it's like Libra risings aren't really putting their true personality out there. They're just giving people what they want. So if I go into a new situation, I'm just going to try to act my nicest, be kind to people, that kind of thing, almost to the point where some people might perceive it as being fake. Like a lot of people say that Libras are fake, but I don't think that I'm fake. But I guess my rising sign, I'm like concerned with how do people like me? Like, how do people perceive me? Another thing about having my rising sign in Libra is that I do not like confrontation at all. And like going in, so say I'm going to a party or something, and like, you know, two people were talking, whatever, in a conversation, and someone brings up something like controversial or something just like out of the blue, and it makes other people around me uncomfortable. I am uncomfortable. I get so uncomfortable, and I have to like smooth things over. Like, I have no clue why. I know why, because I have my rising Libra. Libra risings have to smooth over confrontations. They don't want it. They will go ahead and try and make the atmosphere back to however it was, laugh it off, joke it off, whatever. But as soon as I like feel that uncomfortableness or that awkwardness, like, like I am the classic smooth over. So one other thing about having Libra rising sign, that Libra risings are very self-conscious. I feel like we're just very like, we always just have to like try hard for other people. So like, I put on freaking mascara to like film a YouTube video in my bed. Like, no one's gonna care. Why did I spend 10 minutes of my life putting on mascara? Because I believe rising, and I think that other people are gonna judge me if I don't have on mascara. So I have to try and like look my best, which is sounds so stupid saying out loud, but like, yeah, that's one thing about being Libra rising. I take an unnecessary amount of time doing my makeup and my hair and like getting dressed to go to class in the morning. It's crazy and unnecessary. So my sun is in Cancer. Birthday's on June 30th. So I'm a first decan Cancer. So apparently, like, your decans, first, second, and third, if you're in the first decan, then you're going to be more typical traits of a Cancer compared to if you're a second decan or third or whatever. So I'm first. Apparently, I'm supposed to be the typical Cancer, and from what I've read on Cancers and like watched videos on Cancers, I am a Cancer, like almost to a T. It's when I first got into astrology, I was so freaked out. I was like, this is me. It's so weird. But so one thing about being a Cancer is that Cancers just take on, in any situation, they take on the role of the mother, the nurturer, person that takes care of someone, the loving person, blah blah blah, that kind of thing. But I found out from being like taking on this motherly role of always wanting to like protect people and nurture people, that you also take on other people's problems and other people's stress. And that is one sucky thing about being Cancer, because you love like your friends and family so much. You just want the best for them. Whenever they're sharing their personal problems or situations with you, it's like their problems become your problems. And that is one thing I really hate about being Cancer, and I'm trying really hard to work on this year, is not letting, like, taking on other people's situations. So, like, yeah. Another thing about being, my hair is weird. So, another thing about being a Cancer, that Cancers do not let go. Like, our memory is so, anything tied to emotions, I remember. I remember having a situation when I was 4 years old and a little boy calling me ugly on the playground. Like, I'm 20 years old and I still remember what I was wearing, what he was wearing, where I was, like, everything. Like, anything, any emotional response that is tied to a memory, Cancers know it, remember it to a T. Like, photographic memory. I guess that's a good thing about being a Cancer, because also, like, you know, with sad moments or whatever, moments that make you feel bad or whatever, you also remember happy things, like good moments, and it's like a photographic memory almost, where you can just like dive into your imagination and like replay those moments over and over and over again. That's something cool about being Cancer. And also, Cancers are very, I think Cancers have this rep for being over emotional, crybabies, like, and I think being Cancer, I am definitely an emotional person, but the emotions aren't put out on display. Like, Cancers, like, our sign is a crab. So everything is kept inside. We have a hard outside. So whatever is going on in Cancer's life, like anything like that provoke emotions, like anything sad, bad, whatever, no one else is gonna know about it. They're self-protective. They will keep it to themselves. And the thing about being Cancer is that I keep everything to myself, and I'm so used to having like this shell around me that it's hard to open up to other people. Cancers are really self-protective. So this whole rep for Cancer is just like crying all the time whenever, maybe if you're close to a Cancer, like your best friend's Cancer, your mom's Cancer, whatever, you'll see that side to them. But on any given day, typical Cancer, you're not going to catch them showing their emotions. Like, they're going to keep it to themselves. And another thing about like Cancers and their rep for being over emotional, I think, is because being a Cancer, you feel everything. Cancers are really sensitive, and I think other signs, they're too wrapped up in other things that they don't feel as strongly and as deeply as a Cancer feels. So of course, like, you're not going to be over emotional. Like Aries, for example, Aries people, I'm not saying that Aries people don't have emotions and aren't emotional. Their emotions are more wrapped up in themselves. They're very intrinsic, like, what am I feeling? What am I doing? Cancers are worried about themselves, this person, this freaking stranger over there on the street. Like, they're worried about everyone, and that's why it's like overstimulation. That's why their emotions are so fluctuating. Like, one day you're happy, one day you're sad, because you're so sensitive and you're so, like, everything, not everything, but you're so affected, and when you're affected, and so another thing about being a Cancer is that Cancers are quiet people to the outside world. It's people that really know them, the people that they let in their inner circles. They're like the most, I'd like to think, they're like the most funniest people, and we have like a different kind of dry sense of humor, and Cancers can be the life of a party if they feel comfortable in their surroundings. So I know Cancers get a reputation for like being hermits and like wanting to be home, sit on a couch and like cry, whatever, blah blah. I think some Cancers are like that, but I'm not like that. At least I try not to be. I have my moments. But yeah, I think that's one, misconception about cancers. Cancers are a life apart. You just have to get to know them. Really, really get to know them, because we're so self-protective about letting people in our lives that a lot of people don't get to see our true personality. But if you take the time and are patient enough, cancers will probably be one of the best friends you've ever had. So my moon is in Scorpio, and having moon Scorpio, your moon Scorpio, some days it's horrible and it sucks, and then some days it really can come in handy. But I'll explain that. Okay, so having my moon in Scorpio, I feel like makes me very intuitive and almost to point, not like psychic, like woo, mystical psychic, or not psychic like a Pisces, more just like I pick up on people's vibes immediately, like on their character immediately. So I think it frustrates my friends because when like we're like out somewhere or whatever, like a boy or something will like approach us, or a boy will try and approach my friend, and I'll just be like, look him up and down. No, like there's something about him, it's just off. Like I don't trust his character, something about it. I don't know, it's really weird, really hard to explain, but I just know about someone. I don't mean like in a judging way, like their aesthetics, like what they're wearing, like what, like that kind of thing. More just like their character, like their heart, their soul. Like it's really weird, but I'm always like a really great judge of character. And I think one thing having a Scorpio moon, which it kind of cuts out the middleman of trying to really get to know someone, because Scorpio moons, they want to know everything about you immediately, which I think that scares people. I know Scorpio men say that they can be intimidating because they're so intense, and I feel like having a Scorpio moon makes me intense sometimes towards people, because I don't like small talk. I want to know like what you're about, like what are your dreams, what are your aspirations, what are your worst fears, like that kind of thing. I'm not interested in shallow, petty things. Like I really want to get to know someone's soul, like someone's heart. So that's one thing about being a Scorpio moon. I feel like Scorpios have this ability to kind of renew themselves, reborn themselves. So whenever again, like I'm feeling down by myself, or I'm in a tough situation or in a bad spot, I always take that as an ability, or I mean as a gift, to grow and move myself further, become stronger. So that's one great thing about having my moon in Scorpio, is that whenever I'm down and out, I only know that it's for a moment. Like this isn't gonna be forever. That I'm gonna take whatever I'm going through, and it's going to make me a better person. Yeah. Another thing about having my moon in Scorpio is that I'm also a Cancer, so I'm already self-protective. I keep my business to myself unless we're super duper close good friends. But if we're not, then no one knows anything about me. Like I don't put my business out there. Also, but having my moon in Scorpio makes me even all the more private, to where I don't even tell people closest to me how I'm feeling, or if I'm going through anything. Like it's a self-protective thing, as well as you just don't like want anyone to use anything against you. So I know it sounds really crazy, but it's just, I don't know, you never know people's motives, you never know who's gonna be in and out your life. Sometimes I rather keep secrets and things to myself. So if someone has their moon in Scorpio, they are very secretive, and you will never know their secrets. Anyone tell me their secrets, which is all the time. I know, it's having my sun in Cancer. People just like to tell Cancers their problems, their freaking life stories, like people I barely know. I guess it's the vibe that I give off. But yeah, no one knows shit about me. Like people with their sun and Scorpios or whatever, they can sometimes come off as freaky because they're just like into weird, like taboo things. And I mean, I'm into like astrology. That's kind of weird now, but yeah, like I've always felt really weird growing up. Like I just felt so weird and misunderstood. I think that's because I feel like Moon and Scorpios are just so different. I feel like we're not different like Aquarius different. I feel like Aquarius think that they're like special snowflakes, basically. But I just feel like Moon and Scorpio people think they're different, and they don't like that they think that they're different. Tongue twister. So I always felt really weird growing up, but now that I'm older and more, confident in myself, self-assured in myself, I embrace like the weirdness. So I know Scorpios, like people with their sun Scorpio or whatever, that like astrology is weird, and I'm sure I like annoy and weird out my friends on like astrology musings, like when's your birthday? I'm sure people are weirded out by that, but now I just like embrace it. I'm into like I watch weird like things, like I watch like documentaries on like cults and like serial killers. It's yeah, and I have a pet mouse, which people think it's weird, but I don't think it's weird. Yeah, I have a pet mouse. His name is Sweet Tea. But that's one thing also about having Moon and Scorpio. We're just a little different.